this right here is one of the original houses in this street. So this road was built in 1700s or something. And this is one of the original houses. I don't know what year this one was built. The one at the top of the hill, before I started recording, was built in 1760, 1770. Pretty cool. I'm not sure when this one was built. But it used to be Ham's, Gary Howard's mom's house. Very cool. Anyway, so every different house is what we call a nuclei. Every nuclei has a particular purpose. We did, in our church youth group, we did work for old people. Hey, people come to work for me now. Anyway, and one of the things we did is we helped her organize and clean out her pantry or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. But every time a road leads to a nucleus, to a house, like the stranger's house, which I didn't know, or the Ham's house, where I have no idea who lives in it now, that nucleus, that area does something. Each one has its specific purpose. And a bunch of roads might go to the same nucleus. Like a grocery store, for example, is a nucleus. A lot of roads lead to the grocery store because the grocery store is an important nucleus. It controls a lot of important things. Well, in a town like this, it does, because you need food. You can eat a lot of stuff, but you still need food. Now, this part of the road's pretty cool because it starts getting dark. And as a kid, riding your bike on this road, this is the best part because it's in the shade. When you hit that hill, you're in the sun. Trying to ride home after school or home from my buddy, what was his, Duncan's house. We've gone to the bottom of the hill. Anyway, so looking at cool. So every nucleus does something. So each of the nuclei in your brain, there is a ton of them, and we start labeling the nuclei based on different areas that are there. And so there's a posted sign. That means you're not supposed to go over there. All right. So, for example, when we were kids, we weren't allowed to go to that house. And that house became a negative stimulus. It was an avoidance stimulus. Other houses are positive stimulus. We're allowed to go to those houses. All right. Creek. So your brain has, I don't know, my physio class has to remember like 50 or 60 different structures in the class. You guys only have to remember like 12 or 13 different structures. But each of those structures does something specific. For example, if I'm walking through the woods here and you start hearing that da-dun music, my English teacher from high school used to live up there. And if he was gone completely mad and has been lurking in the woods, possibly, then maybe he's stalking me with a machete right now. Da-dun, da-dun. And if he's stalking me with a machete, maybe my amygdala, I start becoming afraid. Every time I hear snaps and cracks and twigs and sticks, my brain starts looking around and be producing more norepinephrine. In other words, looking around and activating different prime stimulus. And if that happens, then I start paying attention to different things because that part of my brain, the amygdala, is all about fear. Okay, small distraction from physio-psych. So see these tubes? Like these two, if you can see the tube in the tree here, there's a good one right here we can look at. See that tube right there? That is where maple syrup comes from. So all these tubes running through the trees, if you kind of look at them, they go between these maple trees, these big tall ones, and the maple trees produce sap. It takes about 40 gallons of sap to make a single gallon of maple syrup. And all the tubes collect the sap, and there is a system right there, if you can see the tubes going up, which goes over to this, which is called a sugar shack. And the sugar shack is where they boil the sap, and the sap gets made eventually into maple syrup. So usually there's a wood fire in there, and that wood fire boils the sap until the water's gone, and then you get this giant sticky jug of maple syrup. Whoa, cool. Sorry, attention deficits. What's for dinner? Look at the bank kind of broke away at a storm. This tree fell down. Totally made a mess of the stream. Totally cool. All right. Okay. So there's a master control part of your brain. And we'll get to there in the next